Yo, top of the morning to you, St. Louis. What's going on, man? It is that time of morning for the St. Louis Hustle podcast. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. That's my girl, Michelle A. And do we have a show lined up for you today? We titled this one, Rona Made Me Do It, right? What is the craziest thing that you've done since we've been quarantined due to Corona? We're also going to touch on some things about stressing and how do you deal and cope with stress. We know this is a serious time for people who have some challenges in that area. So we're going to get into all of that right after we roll this intro.
Growing up in St. Louis has never been easy, and most say if you want to succeed here, that you must leave and put down roots somewhere else because of the strong crabs in a barrel mentality here.
I don't know if I'm just an optimistic person, but to see people like Chuck Berry and Nelly make it in the music industry, or the Roberts brothers and Dave Stewart in business, or William Lacey Clay Jr. in politics, can we blame the city, or is it that people just aren't hungry enough?
We're talking to all of the movers and shakers in this town, from entertainers to politicians, social activists and organizers, and of course, entrepreneurs.
Is there a curse on this city that holds people back? Is there an unseen hand that decides who makes it and who doesn't? You're about to find out.
Welcome to St. Louis Hustle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Welcome back to the St. Louis Hustle podcast, and we're coming to you live and direct from the Free Funnel Machine Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need a sales funnel, then we've got you covered. Go to freefunnelmachine.com to get that all set up. Michelle A., what's up, Queen?
Man, what's up, Tez? Man, what's up?
Hey, chilling, man. Another week of quarantine, and here we go.
Yeah, man. You see, I go down, man. I done got bored. I finally wore my shirt. You see,
Yes,
I finally wore my
yes.
shirt, right? And you see how bored I've been in the quarantine. I was like sitting around, I was like, I got my shirt. Are those scissors? Shirt meets scissors. And this all happened at like 5 o'clock this morning. I was like, snip, 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 snip. I was proud. I was like, yeah. So the final, yeah. I did all that when I was on. I was like, I had it on and did all of this one.
Oh,
So,
man, you didn't cut the neck off your shirt while you're wearing your shirt. Okay.
That's how bored I was. What's the craziest thing you did while in quarantine?
Oh, man.
Shirt up while I was in it. I was like, Rona made me do it. In quarantine, man, all kind of stuff just pop out. But you know what I'm saying? Never have I felt so fabulous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying.
I feel you on that.
Now I need more merchandise.
Okay. All right.
We got to get more shirts and stuff in. I got more cutting to do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, inbox us to get your St. Louis Hustler t-shirt. So Michelle don't go haywire on the rest of the shirts. Everybody don't want to wear a cut-up shirt, Michelle. So we're going to see if we can't sell the rest of these before Michelle gets at them. But then again, they might want your signature design. Who knows? Hit us up, people. Hit us up if you want the St. Louis Hustler shirt.
I'm just saying, we ain't going to be on lockdown forever. I mean, I can't, well, I hope not. We be around the house, cut up around the house, looking out windows. Like,
right.
Look at this in the window. Look at me.
But somebody tell your president to open up outside, right? Oh, the whole outside is closed right now.
That's what okay, you watch the news, you see what's going on. So first, these numbers, right?
Yes.
So first, these numbers. So I'm going to just tell you what, I'm going to quit counting. I'm going to just start rounding up.
There we go.
Right now, St. Louis, we at 6,000 something.
Mm-hmm.
We at 6,000 something. And Illinois, Hillside, y'all There it is. Y'all at 30,000 something, 30,000 plus.
Wow.
We yet praying for everybody. We yet
Yeah.
praying for everybody. Shout out to all my people that's on the front lines. That's front lines of everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You at the front of the line or somewhere. Shout out to you.
If you have to leave your house every day to go to a job, no matter what that job is, you to me are on the front lines. Everybody cannot not afford to go out, and I get that some of y'all job ain't essential, but your job said it is essential. So in your mind, it's essential because if you don't got no paycheck, you're gonna be essentially out on the street. So I get it. So if you have to go out, then we consider you a frontline, our trash and sanitation workers, whatever you got to go into the job to do, man. Be careful out there. Wear your mask, wear your gloves, and we praying for y'all.
For real. You know what though? I discovered a trick. See, I told you I finally found sanitizer. I finally found gloves and masks. Shout out to the beauty supply folks. Say what you want. They out there in the hood, and they had what? Not only did they have my hair care needs, but I can't call it well because I know I can't even. It's so many jokes like right, wrong, and because I know the nickname that I call my folks at the beauty supply, but I can't. But they had me locked down. I'm sure they got a nickname for me because the man be jacking up my name every time I come in there. I'm like, it's Michelle. It ain't hard, bang.
It's not.
It's not hard. It's Michelle. It's 2 syllables, boo. Michelle. But so, but he had me on lock. He had the mask, the gloves, sanitizer, everything. Where I've been everywhere and couldn't find it. So he had me on lock. But I was doing stuff backwards. Like I had all of that in the house, and I would leave the house and forget to put it on and get to the car and be like, dang. And then I'm on the second floor. And if you think I'm finna climb them steps again,
So I'm taking my chances. I'm not going back up them steps to get no mask.
Who finna do that? The Stairmaster's not in effect. I'm sorry, okay? I ain't got the 2020 body yet. It's not happening. I got the body I got. So I was like, why don't I just leave it in the car?
You had an epiphany.
I just left the stuff in the car. Please don't break in my car, y'all. Please don't. But I was like, why don't I just do that? So I just have to walk to my car like this.
Right.
If I make it to the car without catching coronavirus, I'm good.
Then you protected. You got what you need. Now,
if I make it to the car.
Now, I got a question for you, and this is so wrong on so many levels, but you got your stuff from the beauty supply store, an Asian beauty supply store.
No, it wasn't Asian.
Okay, all right, okay, because I'm getting to wonder that if all of this came from, all right, we ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna be like your president and call it the China virus.
I got it from my folks over at the other place where it's super hot. And we discussed numbers last week, and they said they only got -2 cases.
Okay. So the Middle Eastern folks beauty supply store. I'm assuming.
Namaste, my brother. Namaste. You know what? Interesting factoid, because I have been there. My friends know me that know me. I've been to India and Damara. How we normally, when we talk, we nod and understand. They're like, yes, I understand, Cortez. Yes. They do this when they understand. No, they do this. They bobble. It'll take you on a hit. Like you get in a room with a whole bunch of people I was in Mumbai, so you get in a room with a whole bunch of Indians, and they got this going.
And they all in agreement. That means you saying something. That means they all okay.
They in agreement with you. But you in a room, it's cool when you one-on-one, but you try. I did a training class, and I was in a room with like 40, 50 people, and all of them like this. It's like, sorry, Lord, and this is not to be offensive to my people that's watching, because I have a few friends, people I'm still like friends with from there, so I love y'all, right? You know I love you. But like you get in a room with 40, 50 people, and you're doing a training class, and everybody understands. It's like when you have all those like the little action figures, the little dolls, and
the little bobbleheads, yeah. So could you imagine them at a motivational speaking conference with a Les Brown or a Tony Robbins.
I tell you out. I'd be no good. I wouldn't. I'd be like, truth is, I'm tired. I wouldn't be able to take it. Would not. So anyway, so so much going. There's so much. You have to keep me on track today because there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a ton. There's a ton.
I'm reel me in today because I'm like a puppy dog off the chain. I'm about to be all over.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Woo! Rona got tripping. Let me tell you. So, right, so I've been researching some stuff. Cortez. I've been researching some stuff. And so I've been looking up stuff that people been doing, because the Rona have people tripping, right?
Yeah.
And I was researching the craziest things that people been doing, since stuff been going on. And I'm like, the foolishness is just taking over. So in London, in the UK, somebody thought this was a good idea. They got online and they sold a 20-piece of chicken McNuggets. Okay, they auctioned them on eBay. Okay, in England, a 20-piece chicken McNuggets. They put them on auction, and someone bought them.
And someone bought a 20-piece nugget online on auction.
Apparently, someone hungry. Okay. Because they was like, my options, everything is shut down. Hey, a 20-piece. They sold them for 2,500 pounds or euros. I don't know what they got going on in the UK, euros and pounds. I got tied up, but somebody bought them. A 20-piece. Wow. I don't know if sauce came with that or not. I didn't dig that far.
Yeah, and I'm assuming they had to be delivered, packed up and shipped, possibly.
They made the purchase, okay? And I was like, well, someone bought the nuggets. Something else that people was doing online. This was in Italy when coronavirus came out. And this was a video. I didn't even want to bother you sending you the video. This is how trivial it was. This man sat down with his kids. And even more importantly, he sat down with the family cats and explained coronavirus and what was going on with the country.
To the cats.
The cats. He sat down with the kids, but he sat down with the cats and he focused in on the cats. Virus. The kids was here, but he focused on the cats. He pointed the camera at the cats and he said, kitties, not kiddos, kitties.
Kitties. Here's what you got to understand about this virus. Okay.
He said this is real. And he said it's real for y'all too. He focused in on the cats. And they were like, yeah.
Crazy.
Kids was like, we still here? It's like the fan on this? I mean, do we matter? No. Go ahead with the cats. We'll wait. With the cats. Okay.
Crazy.
Just one more. People over in Germany, people getting magnets stuck up their nose.
Magnets.
Magnets. See, here's the interesting part of this whole little thing. Not the fact that people are sticking magnets up their nose. They're getting stuck.
So you can't even determine the right size magnet that you need to go up in your nose. Is what you doing? What is
there? Bring us home, Cortez. Not the fact that we just sticking them up there. Oh, we're getting stuck. We need help back out. You know what I'm saying? We got in for the mission. We can't deploy. We can't come back out. We stuck. We there for a while.
That's crazy.
That's that. And then the last one. Again, it was a video for this one. I didn't want to burden you. Another cat video. This one was in Spain, and the lady was playing tic-tac-toe with her cat, and apparently the cat won. Okay, so that's the first problem. Cat won, and she was so angry that the cat won. She flipped the cat off. She gave the cat the finger.
Really?
Multiple times. She flipped the cat off. She was very upset. She was so upset that she first she's playing tic-tac-toe and she's using cat treats as
Mm-hmm.
the mark on the thing,
On the
and she
board.
got so mad she knocked all the knocked,
Wow.
and
Wow.
then she took the cat off, and the cat's like, "What the hell is your problem?" Cat just really never moved. You just kind of sat there and looked at her,
Yeah.
but then she got so mad she gave the cat the thing.
So did she call the cat an effing kitty using
Well,
another word potentially?
she gave the cat the bird. Pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
But I was just like, Rona got people tripping, and I'm gonna just
Yeah.
point out that all this happened. None of these people lived in the United States. I mean, no shade to people that
Yeah.
don't live here.
Well, we've
But
got some clips of some people who live here, and Rona got them tripping too. So
it just it's us too.
yeah. We got Rona got some of us tripping really. Put in the comments, man, what's the craziest thing you've done since we've been on quarantine? And when we come back, man, we're gonna talk about some other people tripping, and they like, hell with the law. We not only gonna go outside, all of us gonna go outside together, and we're gonna huddle up in one place. So let me cut to this break. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
St. Louis Hustle Podcast is brought to you by Reggie the Lion. Go to ReggieTheLion.com, grab yourself a copy of the coloring book, and keep up with all the latest developments of the dog and everything that Reggie the Lion is planning to bring to our children. Also, check out OfficeHuddlePrint.com. All of the graphic designs that you've seen for the St. Louis Hustle Podcast are courtesy of Office Huddle Print Shop. Our good friends helped us with logos, flyers, thumbnails, even our merchandise, courtesy of OfficeHuddlePrint.com. St. Louis Credit Repair Institute, get your credit in the right order. STLCreditFix.com. They average 50 to 150 point increases for over 100,000 customers so far, and you could be next. STLCreditFix.com. The St. Louis Hustle Podcast is a copyrighted production of iHustle Media Group. Any unauthorized use of the content of this show is strictly prohibited. iHustle Media Group, a better way to market.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. That is my co-host, Michelle. Hey, ain't never ready when we come back off a break. But that's neither here or there. Shout out to our sponsor, thefreefunnelmachine.com. If you're looking to use sales funnels in your business to help automate some of your process, go to freefunnelmachine.com and you can set up your free funnel. It's free. Your autoresponder is free, and it's free for life. And you get free training and free coaching. So freefunnelmachine.com. Michelle, over the weekend, you were looking at some of our president's loyal supporters. What's going on with that? What they doing up in the D-town in Michigan?
Man, okay, so here's the thing. Y'all know I'm extroverted. I'm extrovert. Gotta have extra olive oil, what they call it, extra olive oil.
Extra virgin.
Thank you. Extra virgin. I'm extroverted, right?
Well,
So
wait. And speaking of extra virgin, I'm just thinking about those two words. All right, you're virgin, but then you're extra version. That means you really, really, really ain't doing it yet. Is that what that means? Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
Where your mind just went?
I mean, just extra virgin.
Bless your
virgin. Okay, all right. Go ahead. What's going on in Michigan?
In Michigan. So you know I'm super extroverted.
Yes.
If I can stay in the house, they can stay in the house.
I agree.
They so up in arms. They out there protesting. They president then got them all riled up. They didn't allow their president to get them all riled up. That's what riled up look like, in case you didn't know.
Oh, okay.
That's what y'all like. Like. They all riled up, right? Foolishness. They didn't. Okay, so I'm watching the news, and I am so baffled. Like when Barack was in office, it allowed me to get engaged with the presidential process. And Barack was uncle. I loved him. We want you back. You left us with a babysitter, and it's not cool. Okay, please come back and get us, man. Because we with this dude, and I'm like, Papa, who is this man? He got these folks stirred up like they're out in the streets. They are hooked up, jammed up. They might as well be in Woodstock. They are. They might as well be around barefoot with no clothes on. They are out there with signs, and this woman, they're protesting because they want to go back to work, and they want the whole thing to end. They want the country to open back up. We all do.
Right.
Nobody's enjoying this. This ain't fun for anybody. However, neither is death.
Right.
Just weigh it out. Living is a lot better.
Yeah.
And so they're out there protesting for their right to go back to work and for their amendment rights. And they're holding up signs, and they want the right to go back to work, and they want the right to do what they want to do.
Right.
And it's retarded, and it's ridiculous, and rules are in place for a reason, and they've had enough. We've had enough. Go back to work. We're putting an end to this right now. We're standing up for a right bull crap. That's a bunch of bull. And I'm real sorry about it. And y'all can just go on, comment, and post, and say all the little stuff, and say she don't know what she talking about, and blah, 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 whatever. Go tell it to somebody who go.
Yeah. Well, let's ask the people. I mean, do you have your right to die? Is that your right? If you want to go outside during this pandemic, should you be allowed to go outside? Now, mind you, they want the right to go back to work, but their company ain't opening the doors. So you can want to go back to work all you want to, but everybody else is in obedience. So should they have their right to go out and just say, forget everybody else and do their thing? And my thing is, I get your protests, I get you exercising your rights, but you could have exercised your rights way out in the country somewhere where it's just you and y'all people. Y'all want to get together? Then y'all get together. So if somebody amongst y'all has coronavirus, then y'all can share it out in the wilderness. You ain't got to do that in town square, is what I'm saying.
Thank you. You know what? I totally agree. Here's my thing. Do you have the right? Sweet Jesus. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. This lady said, I wish I could make this stuff up, but I can't. This is the truth. She had a sign to say, it's my right to die if I want to. And then she said it. Not only did she have a sign that said it, she uttered it out of her mouth. Be careful what you say out your mouth. The Bible says, life and death is in the power of the tongue. You better watch your mouth. That's what my pastor say. Hey, pastor. My pastor said, we have what we say. Well, the Bible says that. We have what we say, right? Life and death is in a mouth of life and death is in the mouth of the tongue. Life and death is right here, is what it say.
It's right there. There you go. There you go.
It's in the mouth of the tongue. And we have whatsoever we say. But you gotta watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because words have life and they speak power. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
So not only did she put it on the sign, but she spoke it. So here's what I have to say to that lady. Yeah, you got the right to die, but you do not have the right to take me with you, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay? Die by your damn self. Excuse me. So, Lord, I don't want to go with you. Okay? Yeah. I don't want your coronavirus. I don't want to go with you. So you do not have the right to be out there protesting and spreading that foolishness amongst the town people, giving it to every time Sally and Bob, and then they come and give it to two friends, and they tell two friends to give it to two friends, and now I got it, and I'm never right again. I got stuff to do with my future. I got a destiny, sugar.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that was one of the things that I had to come to grips with is, we got a running joke in my family. I don't know if you're an X-Man fan, but I'm a big fan of Wolverine. And Wolverine, no, that's not X-Man. no, that's Black Panther. That is Wakanda Forever. That's it's different.
Forever.
It's different. But I'm a big X-Men fan. I love Wolverine. So because I rarely get sick, in terms of, everybody in this household can have some bug, flu, the coughs, colds, and I just don't do that. So I call myself Wolverine, and his mutant power is he heals quickly, right? So uh, in my mutant power, in my Wolverine strength, when this stuff first kicked off, I'm like, man, I'm not worried about no coronavirus, because I do believe that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and I tell the virus you can't live in here, so go on somewhere now, go on away from around here, but not realizing that I could have it and it could not be affecting me because of the strength of my immune system. But I could go around someone with a weaker immune system and be transmitting this thing left and right. So I get it, man. They don't have the right to be irresponsible. Like I said, if it's your right to die, then it's
Right.
oh man, kind of like that movie with Denzel and John Goodman. I can't remember the name of it, but uh, the spirit was jumping from person to person. So he figured he was gonna kill it. He went way out in the wilderness, and
Yeah.
he said, as long as I'm not around any living thing and I kill myself, then this thing has nothing
Yeah.
else to jump on, and it's gonna die.
Yeah.
If you want to take the coronavirus out with you and you want to go die in the wilderness, just do it around no people, and that's okay. You don't have to be transmitting that thing around other folks. So yeah, I think that was pretty ignorant. You also have on here an experience with hoarding. What was up? What, did you run across some hoarders, Michelle?
Huh. But you know what? And that's my dad. My mom, uh, sorry, mama, but my mom was a hoarder. God rest her soul. And my dad just kind of took on everything that she did, and he hoarded. You know what I'm saying? He
Mhm.
just got stuff stockpiled. And my dad lives by himself. My dad is like 83 years old, and my dad got like 8 cases of water, and he got, you know, that daddy, you're 80, 83, 84, and he's just got all these cases of water. He got cases of soda. He got, what I'm saying, enough meat to feed an army. And I'm like, Daddy, where are you going? I got enough to feed an army in case anybody needs something. I got you just holding on that this meat gonna outlive you. What are you doing?
Right.
The corona's here. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's gonna happen. No, I do know what's gonna happen. This meat gonna go bad now.
So all that stuff is going bad. That's what's gonna happen.
That's
What is the expiration date on them sodas, Dad? How long you had them sodas?
right. Seriously, it just and they don't throw anything out. So it just he has stuff and the expiration date on the stuff is too old, canned goods, too old, and you see opening stuff and eating it, and you don't smell it, you don't check it, and you wonder why your stomach hurts. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the stuff that we're doing now. What will happen? Like I say, it really does have you wondering what's going to happen when we do really open up. I know
Yeah.
things have to change. There's
Yeah.
going to be a new normal.
Yeah.
It really does make me wonder what will the new normal be. I know it's going to be different. Will we all walk around with masks on forever? I don't think so. I think there's going to be a difference, but I don't think it's going to be like people are. I don't think it's going to be like we think. It's going to be
Yeah.
different. I don't think it's going to be what everyone perceives it to be.
It
You
is
know,
definitely going to be different. Guys, comment in the chats if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube. What's the craziest thing you've done since this quarantine that you thought you would never do? Because the corona is making some people do some weird things. When we come back on the other side of this break, we're going to talk a little bit about how to handle the stresses of this thing that we call coronavirus and life. We're going to give you the first few of our tips on how to handle and stay level-headed under pressure. We know that mental illness affects people in a lot of different ways, and this could be triggering a lot of people. And I haven't heard many people speak on this aspect of what's going on and what Rona is doing, because I know my co-host is an extreme extrovert. So we're praying for her mental sanity as she is going through week number 8, stuck in the house. So there's some other people that this thing might be affecting on a serious note. So we're going to talk about some things that you could do to help deal with the stresses and stay level-headed. So when we come back, keep it locked right here.
I have done 2 prior Longevity Better Health Now challenges. I decided this time around I needed an extra push. A good thing to remember is 32 pounds is the weight of my 3.5-year-old son, and I am not carrying around a 3.5-year-old basically.
I'm a mother of 4. I just want to see how healthy I can get so that I can be around for a while. It's pretty amazing whenever you're excited to get on the scales every morning and see what the numbers are instead of dreading it.
When I went to convention last year, the day of the 5K, this lady, Merle, came across the finish line, and she was visually impaired. She was blind. From this day forth, I said, I'm changing my lifestyle, and I'm just going to be a whole new me.
I was out of control. I really let myself go. And I thought, okay, who loses 12 pounds in a week? I'm like, this is such a joke. But it happened, and it happened again and again and again. Anybody can do this. If I can do it, you can do it.
Leading up to today has been a whirlwind, but I feel amazing. Everybody makes you feel really awesome when you come here too, so it just kind of like heightens your excitement about everything.
I feel so much better. If I could help just one person be able to do that for their life, then it'd be worth it all.
I feel amazing. I can't believe how far I've came from last year to this year.
I have kept my weight off within 2 to 5 pounds, which is a complete miracle. Let's go!
Yo, welcome back to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle, and she is never paying attention, Michelle Aaye. And here we are. Hey, listen, man, I forgot to tell you guys about our contest. Man, listen, if you guys want to win $75, we've got a way that you can do that. At least we're going to give you a chance, right? So we are trying to get our first 100 subscribers over to our YouTube channel. So here's what you need to do if you want to win $75. We're actually going to give this to 2 people. And all you got to do is go over to our YouTube channel. That is St. Louis Hustle Podcast on YouTube. I'll put a link in the comments here. And you need to subscribe to the channel, people. But you can't stop there. You need to leave us a comment that you want to enter the drawing to win $75. But you can't stop there, people. You have to complete the trifecta. That is, then share the latest video from YouTube to your Facebook page. Yes.
Sharing is caring.
And then tag St. Louis Hustle Podcast. This is how we're going to know to put your name in the hat for the drawing to win $75. 2 people who win $75. And we're actually going to do the drawing live this coming Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time right here on the St. Louis Hustle Podcast Facebook page. So, yeah, it's about to go down. We want to bless some folks during this quarantine time, man. So, what are the 3 things that you need to do? You need to go to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast on YouTube. You need to subscribe to the YouTube channel because we're going to check. Now, if we pull your name out the hat and we check and you ain't subscribed, then, as a matter of fact, you ain't even going in the hat if you ain't subscribed, right? Leave us a comment that you want your chance to win the $75 on the YouTube video. Then share right on YouTube. They make it easy. You hit the share button and you can share Your Facebook is going to pop up. Click share to Facebook. Put that thing on Facebook and tag at St. Louis Hustle Podcast. And boom, you, my friend, can win $75 to y'all. Yeah, that's how we do. That's how we do. Help us get to 100 subscribers on YouTube this week.
That's what we doing. Here's the thing. Who don't need no money? Now here's the thing. Because y'all wonderful, awesome president got to have his name on everything. Everybody ain't got stimulated yet. Okay, now some people got stimulated. Maybe you don't need a come up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you got everything you need. You out there, you know what I'm saying? Come up. Buying tennis shoes and buying all kind of wonderfulness. This ain't for you. But because of our wonderful president having to have his name on everything, he done held up a lot of people money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
So some people ain't got their money yet. You know what I'm saying? Or some people, maybe you ain't getting no money. Maybe you let somebody carry your kids. Oh, I said it. Yeah, I used to do it. I carry the kids all the time. Anyway, whatever. Or maybe you just want to get it and bless somebody else. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? St. Louis Hustle Podcast is blessing the community. We are giving back. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the reason is, come get this money. It's a simple thing to do. It's 3 things he named. 1, 2, 3.
That's
Simple.
It. That's it. Actually, four things. Actually, 4 things. Yeah.
4. Okay.
4 things.
Trick me.
I said 3. I said 3, but I put up 4 fingers. So
did you? Yeah. That's why I be looking down at my phone, at my other little thing, and you be like, "What you doing, Shell?" I be looking down because I can't see. That's what I be doing. That's the wrong. That's the wrong. All right, but it's a simple thing. It's
That's
it, man. No, it's 4 simple things to make it come up. Y'all need to go do that. It's 75, and then bless somebody or bless yourself, and
boom.
That's what you need to do.
That's it. Help us get to 100 subscribers. On a serious note, y'all, we know that mental health is a serious issue. And I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. And some people, Michelle, don't understand when we was young and we were in church every day, all day, people would get up and we would have a opportunity to testify, right? And I remember my mom would make us testify. I don't care, boy, you got something to be thankful for. Tell me you're thankful for the roof over your head and food in your mouth. And okay, mama, right? But we used to often hear someone say, I want to give an honor to God who's the head of my life, the pastor, and all of God's children. And I want to thank God for, waking me up this morning and clothing me in my right mind. Right. And a lot of people have heard that or some variation of that and have no clue what it's like to wake up not being clothed in your right mind. Well, I have. I literally lost my mind a few years back, and it was traumatizing for everybody who know and love me. My wife loved me through it. So when it comes to mental health and the seriousness thereof, it's a very real thing. And especially in our community, it's so taboo that nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to address it. And I'm just going to say this, man, and this is no disrespect to your pastor, but your pastor can't fix everything, man. Sometimes that's the only place we go for help in terms of that mental and psychological help that we need. And yes, prayer works. Prayer does change things. Sometimes your pastor needs to pray that you let your guard down and you go see a professional, because it was from professionals that helped me outside of my pastor praying for me, my wife praying without ceasing, my family praying, my mom praying. But they prayed that the professionals did their job as well, and it worked out. So I've got a couple things that we're going to hit them with on some things that you can do to remain level-headed under pressure to help cope with stress and this Rona thing. It could be affecting people in a lot of ways. So when we're talking about managing pressure and stresses, number one, it says track your stressors, right? Keep a journal for a week or two to identify which situations create the most stress and how you respond to them, right? Those triggers are important, man, and you have to identify those things that trigger you because the Bible says that you will never be tempted beyond what you can handle. And even when temptation is there, or God will never put more on you that you can bear. And also, when it comes to temptation, He will always make a way of escape for us. But if you don't know where those traps lie, you don't know the things that trigger you in the first place, you passing up your escape, right? Because sometimes I be headed to my buddy's house and I know good doggone well it's going to be 12 blunts in the air when I get there. Well, if that's a trigger for me and I know that, then when I get that phone call when I'm 2 blocks away and my wife say, "Hey, could you bring me something real quick?" See, that's an escape because I'm about to go into a situation that's about to trigger all my stresses. But here the Lord, they got my wife craving some ice cream and pickles right now. So if I take her what she needs, I've escaped one of those triggers. So definitely you got to understand your triggers. And we got a few more of these, and we're going to round out the show with a few more of these. But number one, understand your triggers. Track what's triggering you, what's causing that stress, that anxiety. For Michelle, she can't go outside right now, so that's a trigger. But what you gonna do about it? We're gonna give you some solutions on what you can do about it here in a second. But I know you've got some experience with some recent activity with your family and stressors, and how. Talk about that real quick.
I will. I'll give you the short version of that. And I know my daughter, she was public about it, so I'll just give the light version of it. My daughter suffers from one of my daughters, I'll just say, suffers from a mild version of a personality disorder, and she was diagnosed last summer with, and it was traumatic, but she had some traumatic experiences as a child, and we just didn't know. We just always thought she was just a difficult person.
Right.
And so, it was something that once we did discover, was like, that explains a lot. And so once we knew what it was, we were able to help her diagnose those triggers and discover what those triggers were. So in the midst of this whole corona thing, she's on medication, and sometimes a medication, when they're trying to get it just right, sometimes it's tricky, and she's a young adult, and so in trying to get that medicine just right, it was causing her, she was at work, it was causing her to have one effect, it was making her a little sleepy at work. And so in trying to handle it on her own, she decided the next day she was not going to take her medicine because she didn't like to make her feel at work.
Right.
And she encountered a trigger, and something triggered her that took her to a place from where she was a child, and triggered a physical reaction on the job. Someone was giving her, now if you know me like you know me, keep birds close, so we're all on the same job, and someone was giving her sister a hard time, and that trigger caused her to react. The Rona caused her to.
Rona made her do it. It's the Rona. The Rona made her do it.
That caused her to react physically. Where she didn't cause harm to another person, but it caused her to make a bad decision.
Gotcha.
And but it was a trigger. Her anxiety rose, and it triggered a reaction. And but it all stemmed from that mental that mental situation.
And you can say it, Michelle. She was about to put them paws on somebody. She
and I say the skibbity pat was about the skibbity pat 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 skibbity pat pat pat. They was in full effect. And so it cost her. It cost
yeah,
her job.
yeah,
And on the other side of it, she's doing well, and she's almost better for it, because it was the whole situation was a place of anxiety for her,
yeah,
having to deal with the corona, and be in that place in the environment.
yeah.
It caused anxiety for her. She has
Gotcha.
asthma,
Okay.
and it caused anxiety. So those were triggers for her, and
Gotcha.
it
Gotcha.
affected her mental, and so it caused her to continuously be anxious.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. It was not a good space for her. It wasn't.
Gotcha. And we talked a little bit about this last week or show before. Sometimes God steps in, and what looks like not so much of a blessing turns out to be a blessing. That
Yep.
guy cheated on me, that gal cheated on me, and 10 years down the road, you like, whoo, did I dodge a bullet? That fool ain't in my life no more, right? And I'm sure that whole experience is, man, to get out of a stressful situation that you don't realize is as stressful until you are relieved of it. And now all of a sudden you 10 pounds lighter, like, wait, really? I didn't even know I was burdened down like that. And that's how mental stress could be. The pressures and those things can really affect you and impact you. And if it impacts you, and this is what I'm learning more and more, is that the thing that impacts me, whether I can see it or not, is having an effect on those around me. And that's what we've got to be cautious of. So we've got some antidotes and some suggestions on things that you can actually do. But on a lighter note, these are some other things that some people are doing. So let's show you guys a couple clips on what Rona is making these people do. And remember, if you're listening to the podcast and you ever want to see these shenanigans, make sure you go to stlouishustlepodcast.com, because these are some funny clips. We got first the Rona Defender, right? This one I can't describe enough. You just got to see it. Brother's got a utility belt full of tissue. He's running around hand sanitizing everybody. It's hilarious. And then we got the cha-cha slide lady. She left foot right now, right foot right now, right out the door, and the police gonna lock her butt up for trying to sneak out on the coronavirus. And then the last one we just silly. He's like, man, he can't wait for this to be over, so he's ready to travel so bad. He's on a treadmill. Pretending he's in the airport, man. So if you ever want to see this stuff, make sure you go to the stlouishustlepodcast.com site, and you can see us live and in living color. Of course, you can watch us on YouTube and Facebook as well. So let me roll this clip real quick and get your take, Michelle, afterwards.
Don't fear the Rona. I'm here to kill the Rona. All right. Hand sanitizer for all. If I need toilet tissue. Right foot, let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Charlie Brown. Hurry up now.
My man's serious. He like, hey, I can't wait till this is over. And he really looks like he's in the airport somewhere.
That's me. That's me all day long, practicing in my bedroom. Review. I'm not only working out. Oh no, I'm practicing at the airport. I can go to the airport. Who on the treadmill working out? No, I'm on there with my suitcase.
That is crazy. The Rona Defender, sanitize for everybody. Sanitize for everybody.
And that dude right there, that's what I'm gonna see when I go to the airport. Okay, when I get to the airport, I'm looking for him.
And I'm telling you, he is making sure that y'all fly safe.
I'm
It's
telling you,
it's
I'm on
that-
vacation next week, and I'm hoping that they lift this stay at home vacation so I can go somewhere.
so I'm wondering about, when they say you can go outside and play. I don't know if I'm going right away, right? But I guess some of you extroverted people are gonna be like, man, busting down the door like Walmart on Black Friday when they open the doors. Y'all out of here?
I'm out here. I'm gonna be like a kid when mama say go outside and play. I'm tying a towel around my neck and I'm outside with my Superman kid cape on like, "Wee, I'm out here."
All right, real quickly, I gotta get to this next one. This is the Holderness family rap. They decided to sanitize some of their favorite rap jams, and this is the funniest thing I've seen in a while. So let's cut to it.
You know, we've been sterilizing everything lately, and so we thought we'd sterilize some of our very favorite songs.
Good idea. Blum dum dum, dum da dum da dum dum. Ooh, 369, give me some wine. Quarantine, can't go outside, can't go. So she just basically walks from the windows to the walls. She just tripped on his ball. Laundry in the halls. Fold that sheet, little brother. Fold that sheet, little man. Fold that sheet, little brother. Fold that sheet, little man. Oh, the other thing going on, anyone else familiar with online schooling? Because, yeah, my kids are in school online all the time, but then they hear my son crying. He's not fine. Check the chat room now, on Zoom now. Don't know what to do now, can't view now. Girls not good, better get that class up. The screen got frozen, gotta get that class up. Can't hear nothing, gotta get that class up. You better do something, better get that class up. You know what, I'm getting kind of hungry. Hang on. In the quarantine, I'm trying to be healthy, but when no one's around, I get stealthy. I just ate 7 Oreos. How is it that everybody knows what my teeth are black? That cookie was my snack. My teeth are black. This cookie was my snack. My teeth are black. This cookie was my snack. My teeth are black. You know what? Let's go over there.
Woo-wee! They were jamming, man. I don't know about y'all, man, but they were jamming.
It was, man. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one.
They were jamming.
I'm like, they had skills, though. They had bars.
They were bars. He said she's traveling from the windows to the wall.
Yeah, right. I'm like, they're so clever. They're so clever.
It is,
like,
man.
Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, and we're gonna put the links to where you can see the originals in the comments, man. I don't want to take credit for anybody's work, but that was super funny. So you guys definitely can go, because that song is actually a little bit longer. He goes into a couple other parodies as well. But real quick, man, before we get out of here, let's run through some more of those tips in terms of what you can do for developing and dealing with the stress. So number one, we're going to track the stressors. Number two, once you track them and you know what's triggering you, then you have to develop healthy responses. Instead of attempting to fight stress with fast food or alcohol, do your best to make healthy choices when you feel the tension rise. That is huge, guys. Here's another huge one right here. Establish boundaries, right? In today's digital world, it's easy to feel pressure to be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Establish some work-life boundaries for yourself. That might mean making a rule not to check email from home and all of those kinds of things, guys. That is huge. And one of the things I like about this is because some of the boundaries you have to set, some of those stressors you identify are people. So you got to identify, set some boundaries, like certain people I can't be around, because instantly you say their name and I start getting a little stressed, right? So make sure that you are setting those boundaries, man. Whether it's people, whether it's work, take time to recharge, relax, reboot. To avoid the negative effects of chronic stress and burnout, we need time to replenish and return to our pre-stress level of functioning, right? Learn to relax. This one my wife would definitely love because this is something that I kind of don't know how to do. Uh, I'm in work mode all the time, which is definitely not healthy. So learn how to relax. What is one thing that you do to relax and knock the edge off, Michelle?
Well, it was fast food and alcohol, but I just heard somewhere that that's out. So there we go. I guess that's out the window.
Try
I
not
gotta
to do that one.
I gotta find a new hobby. Well, I guess I'm back to looking out the window. The window
or
to
the wall.
Right. Well, relax. I like a I like relax. I like a good anything that's gonna give me a good laugh.
Yeah.
Always relaxes me.
Yeah.
Anything that's gonna give me a good laugh or stimulating conversation
Okay.
with someone.
Gotcha.
You know, that
Gotcha.
relaxes me. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. I like good people. Good
Cool,
people.
cool.
Like,
And the last thing that I have to say, I couldn't go without saying these last two. Number one, your relationship with the Creator, man. Lean on the Lord. That is huge. Prayer and meditation absolutely works. But sometimes that prayer and meditation leads you to getting support and help from professionals, right? I remember the first time my wife had me forcibly taken to the mental hospital because she saw this stuff happening to me way before I ever recognized and was willing to admit it to myself. But the first time she had me forcibly taken, and I was like, man, ain't nothing wrong with me. No, you crazy for thinking I'm crazy. Uh, and it got ugly for a little while, man. But sometimes if you recognize some of these signs in your people that you love, man, you might have to go that route and forcibly interject and, intervene, have some interventions or whatever. But if you recognize your triggers yourself, man, it's okay to get help. It's okay to get support. And here's the happy ending, guys. This was 19 years ago.
wow.
And I couldn't imagine being where I am if I had known I was going to have to go through that.
Wow.
That was 19 years ago. And not to say that everybody is going to be able to get the immediate help and I was able to make it out, no medication and that kind of stuff. But 19 years ago, if I had not gotten the help at the time that I did, I just often wonder, would my situation had progressively gotten worse to the point that it would have become irreversible, right? So I thank God for a strong praying wife who was like, at the time we had 4 kids. She was pregnant with number 5, and I didn't even know at that time. She had just found out. She was like, "No, you ain't not gonna leave me with these 4 kids. You gonna snap back, get yourself together."
She said, "Oh, the devil is alive. You going to find him and stuff. Oh, but not like that. You going, but you staying at the same time."
That's right. So check on your peoples, man. And definitely get some help where help is warranted. Not to say don't pray, not to say don't talk to your pastor, but sometimes you need a little bit more than that. And it's okay, man. Don't let people judge you about seeking help.
Wow. Awesome.
So we are at the top of the hour, Shelley.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Yes, it is. And I didn't even get my last commercial in, so my sponsor's gonna kill me. But nevertheless, we'll make it up to him next week. So, any last words, Michelle?
Man, you guys need to go on out, subscribe on YouTube.
Yes. Yeah.
Like us on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, leave us comments on YouTube, share us back on Facebook so you can win this money, man.
Yeah,
Money,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Money,
Hey,
man.
listen.
Win this money, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Win this money. Leave us comments. Then you need to go out and you need to follow us on our podcast platforms, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, and you need to subscribe on there as well. Leave us comments, feedback. We like feedback too.
Absolutely. Give us a rating on those platforms, man, because we like what we do, and we hope y'all do too, man. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Shout out to our syndication partners, 13 Entertainment L.L.C, Hustle and Love. The show is streaming over there as well, the Cortez Hustle Show. So we're all over the place trying to bring y'all this goodness, man. So with that being said, man, until we talk to y'all next time, we want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.